Hey guys, it's either you know me as Becca W20 or you know me as the Kepler Story on Facebook, and I've had a few questions about the stairs that I've placed in front of one of my characters on my story's house. Her name is Curly, and had a few questions of how I made them, so I'm going to make like this brief video of how I make stairs just like this. It's pretty easy. You need one cheat. It's Constrained Floor Elevation False. It's CONSTRAINFLOORELEVATION space FALSE. And once you put that in, you can do pretty much anything. So what I did was I just raised the ground, which I'm just going to show you how I did that real fast. I just raised it. I don't know what size you want. You could want it, really high, or you could want it really low. It doesn't really matter. And then what you do is you go into terrain tools. You click level terrain and just pull that like quite a ways so you have enough room to work with. And then it'll raise the terrain. You can choose a staircase that you want to use, and you just when you go on here, it'll show up that you have it'll show up with a little white box like that, and you just pull it towards you, or whatever way you want the stairs to go. You can pull it as far as you want or as small as you want. It doesn't really matter. If you want it like that, you let go, and you could do 6 of them. So if we do a staircase of 6, which is what the size that this is, then when I pull it down like that, it covers the whole thing. So it's like the stairs are already fully covering the land. Then either you can go back in and level the terrain again to this level so that you can see what you're working with, or you could just keep going the same way until you hit the ground. And pretty much you just do, if you want 4 levels, 6 levels, 7 levels of stairs, it doesn't really matter. You can do them as close as you want, as far as you want. I think on Curly stairs I have them 1 step apart, and you can gradually make them bigger as they go down to make it look better. Like, see, that's a little bit bigger than the one above it. And you just keep leveling it out. Probably makes it easier on people who don't normally do this, or are trying to learn how to do this. It's probably easier to level the ground out so you can see better. And then you just do it again one more time, and okay, so you got that. Then you just take this and level it out one last time. You might need to put your screen up a bit and level it out, and you have your staircase just like that, 3 levels going up to a house. Now if you want to build on that, you just level out the ground at this point, and then you build. And how I did Curly's is I leveled this out like, alright, I'll show you. Leveled this out like this. I mean, it's not this high on hers, it's only like a wall or whatever, the size of a wall. And then you just take your foundation and you can fill it in with foundation like this. Or the way Curly's is I did this, and then I took the foundation and I filled in this part with the foundation. But it doesn't really matter either way. Or you could just build right on the ground. If that's what you wanted to do, you could just put the flooring right there and build up. It doesn't really matter what you do. It's so easy. And I know I had a couple people ask me how I did it, so I figured I would show you. And I mean, this one's even a tad bit different. Like, this one gets bigger as it goes down, but this one's got a medium size, then a small size, and then a large size. And even if it doesn't perfectly match the ground, that's okay, as long as, it's not like a really steep hill. You just keep doing stairs. I mean, you could do probably small ones like this all the way down. You could do medium ones all the way down. I don't know how well big ones would work on all the way down, but you can always start with a big one or end with a big one. It wouldn't really matter. And that's just how you do it. It's really pretty easy. You only need that one little cheat, and then if that's all you wanted to do with Constrained Floor Elevation False, you just click Control-Shift-C and then type in constrain floor elevation true, and it'll go back to normal so that things can't be fixed to this kind of a way. Like, I don't know if you need actual constraint floor elevation falls to do the stairs like this though, but if you wanted to do the foundation underneath like I did on Curly's house, you would need constrained floor elevation falls for that. So you would need to type that in either before or after. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference, but it just makes, I think it makes life easier when you're a builder on The Sims 3, because you can always adjust things, or the floor, the ground level, you can always adjust that too to make it so that it works. I also had a question about apartment buildings. I mean, an apartment building in my story on Facebook, my Kepler story. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's pretty cool. It's a good story. And I had a question about how I did the apartment building. Well, if you go into Edit Town mode, in here, when you're like working, you can go to show empty houses, and if you have to have late night to be able to do it, because you can grab one of these, whichever one you like the most on the outside. It doesn't really matter what they look like on the inside, how many bedrooms they have, because you can fix that yourself. So let me just bulldoze this so that we can place it right there. I hope that's a big enough lot. I think it is. So let's say I want to use this lot, which is the one I used in my story. Okay, you place it onto the actual lot itself, and it'll process for a bit, and then it'll place the house. When you get there, you have to type in testing cheats enabled true, and then you have to put on move objects on, and you have to do constrain floor elevation false, and build by and buildings off, I think, or build by and buildings false. Either one. Let me see what it is. Let's go in and try and build now on this. It'll load up as the actual apartment building that EA created. Then you just type in, click Control-Shift-C, put on testing cheats enabled true, hit enter, then put in move objects on, hit enter, and build by, oh no, it's restrict, I think, restrict, hold on, restrict, build by, and buildings off. Okay, so now when I click like the sledgehammer or whatever, I can delete everything that EA has placed on this lot. It doesn't matter if it's inside the actual apartment or if it's outside the actual apartment. That doesn't make a difference. I can delete every single little thing, like even these walls I can delete, which leaves me with this kind of stuff. There is a few things that you can't delete. That would be including, I don't think it'll allow you to delete this, but you can always get a different one if you wanted. You can't delete the trash can chute, which is why you have move objects on, so you can place them outside without having to have a wall that would be in your way. And the mailboxes, wherever they are. Maybe I accidentally deleted them. Well, anyways, you don't want to delete the mailboxes, wherever that is. I think it was downstairs. Here, let's see if it was downstairs. yeah, right here. You don't want to delete this mailbox because you need it. You don't want to delete this, and you don't want to delete this trash chute, okay? So you pull them aside, put them outside on the lawn somewhere, and then what you do is just click the sledgehammer and, you know, drag it across. It'll delete a ton of stuff, and then you're welcome to build however you want, whatever you want your apartment to look like. Either you want it to be modern, or you want it to look like a ranch style one, or you want it to be beach style, or you want it to have a lot of windows or no windows at all. Doesn't really matter. You can delete it or make it however you personally would like. In mine, it's an actual modern style, so that's what Carly and Morgan and them live in, is a modern style one. So you just build it to your abilities. If you're not the greatest at building, I suggest maybe playing around with a house before you try and build an apartment building, because it's not as easy to build an apartment building. You have to think of space and, you know, like the room that you come into, what's that going to look like? Is there going to be a bar downstairs and like the waiting room downstairs? So maybe if you're not home but the person doesn't want to go back home, maybe they can just, you know, chillax downstairs a little bit. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. Just be creative and, you know, use your imagination. But once you delete all this, even if the apartment building originally was only one floor like this was, you can delete these floors like that, and delete that, and see, that's the top of the building. So then you go down, and you got 3 floors that you can build on. I could build on every single one of these floors, just like this. Drag my walls to wherever I want them. Could be anywhere. You don't have to fill the whole place. You could, you know, do whatever you want. And this is how I made theirs, and theirs is a 3-level apartment building. And then, you know, you just build inside like a normal house. It's just a 3-level house, except for when you make it, if you don't want there to be, you know, you don't like the front yard, or you don't like the, you know, you don't like this being all black, not being able to see in there, you can open that up. Or if you do like it like that, you put in Control-Shift-C, buy debug, and when you go into buy mode, it'll have a, you click on sort by function, the question mark, and then, you know, it's right in here. It's, I think it's a miscellaneous, to be honest with you. It's just little black balls, and in here they have awesome stuff like big lights that you can put on the ceilings and big TVs. If you don't know about this, like, here's the, for a hidden room maker, that's what's used here to make it hidden. There's a level skip. If you don't want all 3 levels, you leave one of these on the one level that you don't want, and it'll skip it. There's fog emitters that make it rain, make it snow, things like that, and there's a ton of them. This one here is the public room maker. It's where you put, this is what you put into the rooms that you want everyone to be able to access. And that's pretty much it. You just make it like that. If you want it to be an apartment with more than one tenant, you have to build that, build the apartment building as if there were more than just your household, and then you put the hidden room makers in there, and the people should be able to move right in and, you know, live there like it was a normal apartment building. That's exactly what EA does. I mean, the elevator shaft is in here, you know, a self-cleaning stall, like, whatever. You could make it like a ranch-style one. It doesn't even have to be on the 3rd floor. If you wanted this to be the actual apartment building, you could do that. If you wanted it to be the level on the floor, it doesn't really matter. It's really up to you, and you can use your creative imagination. Or sometimes, just to give a little hint, sometimes when I'm building, if I need a little inspiration, I'll go look at, like, maybe I'm making a ranch style house. I'll go look at pictures on Google all tons of different kinds of pictures and be like picking out, oh, I like that kitchen like that, oh, I like that bathroom, and then I piece them together and kind of like make the Sims 3 into them houses all put together. I just use my imagination really and do what I think looks best. Always remember that if you want to make a house look realistic, make sure to do landscaping, have trees, have flowers, have natural looking grass, you know, have tile out front, inside, you know, adding plants to at least one plant to every single room makes it look more realistic. Try not to clash colors. Try to make things that are on the walls pop. Like if you're putting a pink painting on the wall, you don't want a pink wall. You want, you know, like maybe like a lime green wall. The pink in that and the purple in the painting would pop out at you. Like things like that. And if you want your house to be modern, use the colors that are used in modern houses, like gray and black and white and red and really bright colors for furniture. Things like that. You have to think about things like that before you actually create things. And you have to kind of have, for me to be able to create a fluent house that works well with, you know, my Sims being able to get around, or, you know, like anything pretty much. Like if you want it to look nice, sometimes when you have something in your mind, it's easier to put it down on a piece of paper and maybe put some lines down on it, or use a piece of graph paper and, you know, alright, I want a 3-space couch here, put 3 spaces and write in couch. You can plan it all out on a piece of graph paper. Things like that are things that will help you be a better builder in the end. Always, always though, remember to try landscaping. Even if you're not the best, without any trees, it kind of looks silly. But with like maybe a shrub, or, you know, a couple flower bushes, or maybe a small pond with a little water shooting out into it. I mean, anything like that can make your house look 100 times better. If you leave it bare, like look at this lot right here, okay? This lot has nothing on it. It looks boring. It looks so not realistic. Now if you add a couple of trees to it in build mode, I mean, I'm not the best landscaper in my mind, but, you know, I kind of can get an aspect of like, alright, the building's black, so let's not use like dark colored trees. Let's use very bright colored trees. Just adding those 2 trees just like that makes it look more realistic. Even knowing it doesn't look the best, it still looks a ton more realistic than if I left it bare. Adding a little flowers to the front of the building, just in a line. They don't have to be perfectly placed. You know, that adds a little accent to the color of the walls. Now when you're building on an apartment building like this, the walls upstairs that you add in will be different colors. So you need to take this color right here, this large wood square right, and go up, and you need to use that up here so it doesn't look like you've, you know, added on anything. Or you could change the color of the wall downstairs and use the same coloring upstairs. Most apartment buildings won't have 2 different color walls on the outside, so you don't want to go too crazy about it. But if 2 different colors, like white and gray or black and purple or something, looks nice on the outside, then do that. But always remember to try to add decorations to a room to make it more decorative. Don't leave a room without at least a plant or a painting on the wall, or, you know, like a curtain. A curtain is something that people forget a lot. Make sure to add some curtains. Use some of the miscellaneous decor to add into the room to give it a little accent. And if you're trying to keep it under a budget, you can always watch up in the corner. It tells you how much it is furnished. And if maybe you can only finish you know, one room. You can make that one room look good. You don't have to, even if you only had enough money not to put all this wall up, but just to put a little bit in, you can always add on later. Don't forget that you can always add on later. You don't have to make all the walls and then have no room for furniture. Make a smaller room, add some furniture to it, put some at an angle. An angle gives a good definition to the room. Always remember that. I hope this helped. If you need anything more, feel free to ask me for any more help. I'm always willing and always online pretty much. Checking my, my Facebook, checking my YouTube. So just shoot me a question and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!